Game one already done here in Rosemont, first of our doubleheader, and here we go to cap off day number 2 of the championship season. Team Svekis and Team Alexander both very much in need of a win. Well, this first week so far dominated by Team Denham. That's Amanda Scarborough, the 2-time All-American. I'm Chucky Kemp. Team Denham has swept every win point possible from their first 2 games, and it's been the big swing for them.
Yeah, it seems like for them, and so far that's the theme of the season. We just got going yesterday. It was opening day. It's opening weekend, but all 3 games that we've had so far have been decided by a home run. So that's what it's going to come down to in this one. It could just be one pitch. For Team Denham, it was Amanda Lorenz with the 2-run home run. They'd go on to win that game 2-1. Sarah Willis came in relief. Team Denham threw 3 different pitchers. She threw the last 3 innings of that game. And it just goes to show how important it is to have that consistency in the game come down to one pitch, because she was solid, garnered MVP points for her relief outing, closed the game, had a runner in scoring position to end it, but she still was able to hold strong, get the final 3 outs. And we'll have another good pitching matchup coming into this one today that I'm really excited about with Masson and Corinth.
Sets up this leaderboard. Taylor McQuillan, a part of those MVPs after she got the start and went 3 innings, gave up just 1. Amanda Lorenz with the big swing. Kelsey Harshman, Sarah Willis, and Alyssa Denham. Nice day's work for Alyssa Denham. Did not play, but still got the max on the win points with 120 from game 1. Gwen Svekis leads her team for the first time in her Athletes Unlimited career. They did not score yesterday. A 1-0 loss to Team Denham. We'll see if they can start off better offensively in this game, and it will be started off by Victoria Hayward, the first player to ever reach the 100-hit mark. That occurred last season. She'll try and set the tone with Flippin, Warren, Ortez behind her. A lot of veterans, especially at the top of this batting order. First pitch here in game 2 from Mariah Masson is inside for ball 1. Masson has very quickly become one of the best pitchers in the league in her 3rd year out of Tulare, California. Played her college ball at Oregon State. Had the first complete game shutout in AUX history in Wichita earlier this year, where she got 2 wins and had a 2.89 ERA.
Just continues to get better every time that we see her. Known in college for her drop ball, and as she entered as a professional, known for her drop ball, but it's been her development of spinning the ball more up in the zone as well as changing speeds that has really started to separate her. And even watching her pitch last night, had to make sure that she did. So many pitchers that we see, but watching her pitch last night, she just lives on the edges. She lives on the corners. Throws with good velocity. I just noticed, Chucky, in watching her pitch, she just doesn't really give in. It's this mindset that she's going to work more off of the plate and then come on when she has to.
Great tempo to her movement as well in the circle. She gets Hayward for the first out. Let's take a look at Mariah Masson's arsenal.
Hi, I'm pitcher Mariah Mazon, and my favorite pitch to throw is a drop ball because I love to see a swing and miss.
A drop ball helps get her ground ball outs too. She'll feed her infield. She can spread the zone up in the zone with that rise ball. Mix in a curve and a screw as well. But when I think about her and her success, it's going more north and south with her drop and her rise, and being able to mix in that changeup consistently. That rise ball too, Chucky, is a little bit of an off-speed pitch for her. So between her drop ball, her changeup, and her rise ball, she can throw at 3 different speeds. So even just taking 4 or 5 miles an hour off of her 67, 68 miles an hour drop ball, that rise ball can serve as her 3rd speed.
1-1 upstairs to Hannah Flippin to make it 2-1. 84 degrees here as we get this second game started. A 10-mile-per-hour wind. Kind of a crosswind from right field to left, but blowing out a little bit to left field. That misses high as well. 3-1 now for Hannah Flippin. Wind a little calmer than I think it was earlier today at times. Beautiful setting here in Rosemont, just outside Chicago, across the street from O'Hare International Airport, as Flippen draws the walk. 10 points for her on the leaderboard, and a one-out base runner.
Third baseman, number 30, Jesse Warren.
Masson in relief yesterday through 3 innings, gave up 4 hits, 1 run. It wasn't earned and struck out 1. Now gets to face Jesse Warren. First pitch swinging. Out to Kaylee Harding in right, 2 outs.
Next up, the shortstop, number 17, Anissa Urtez.
What have you seen pitching-wise as a whole? Is there something this group is doing better this year to start? I mean, pitchers have pretty much dominated these first 3 games or so.
Yeah, they have, and they looked really sharp. I think just mixing and being able to live on the edges. I mean, being able to, when I say mixing, I mean being able to change speeds consistently. I think that that's just the common theme that is all throughout these pitchers. Even if it's not their best pitch, like a Sarah Willis changeup that she would say is her most favorite pitch to throw, even if it's not their best pitch, they still can utilize that off-speed pitch so effectively throughout these at-bats and mix it in at different times. So important.
2-0 foul back. Anissa Urtez trying to follow her former Utah teammate Hannah Flippen over at first base. Urtez is married to a former pro, Amanda Chittister. Retired a few years ago. Like a pretty good spot from Masson right there.
Oh, I thought so too. She wanted that, and that makes such a big difference in this count. It's the difference between it being 2-2 and a 3-1 count.
Two of the last 3 batters have walked now, Flippen and Urtez, and that brings up Charlize Palacios, the rookie out of UCLA, and a big moment for her early in this game.
Yeah, good time to just go out and slow things down with Masson. Mia Davidson called timeout right away and is talking to Sam Fisher and the captain, Odyssey Alexander, who plugged herself in over at first base today. See her hitting as well.
Charlize got her first career hit yesterday with her sister behind the plate. Upstairs, ball 1 from Masson. Fouled away. 1-1 count.
Charlize has had some really big swings too, and she had a grand slam on her senior day at UCLA that tied up the game. Like, she was just so clutch in her last season at UCLA.
Popped up foul territory for Odyssey Alexander, who makes the catch, and Masson strands a pair of walks here in the top of the first. Team Alexander, first chance at the plate coming up. Just great pitching performances all around for Team Denham and Team Romero on the winning side of things on day 1. Now this lineup for Team Alexander looks to get more going here. Longtime vet in the leadoff hole, Aubrey Leach, Kayla Kowalik, and then the AUX champion Bubba Nichols, who had 2 hits yesterday and drove in a run, will hope to give Mia Davidson all the run-producing opportunities she could dream of in the 4 spot. Gonna be tough, though. Georgina Korick, 6 foot tall, 3rd year out of Port Charlotte, Florida. We had her as our star in the stands yesterday. How about this? She was drafted in the 9th round of this Week 1 draft. 8 pitches were selected ahead of her, plus the 2 captains. She has a 2.69 ERA and over 100 innings for her career.
She reminds me of a pitcher who's like an artist out there with the way that she just paints the corners. She'll change speeds really well.
Made just 4 starts last season. She was 1-4 with a 2.33 ERA. That's some bad luck right there. 4 starts, 7 relief appearances. Came into some tough spots. Had a couple longer relief outings where she gave up a run or 2 and just couldn't get any production. Her numbers have been great. 1-2, slow roller for Warren and couldn't quite handle it. Was trying to get a look at Klingler over at first base, maybe a little too soon.
What about a really close play at first base with the speed of Aubrey Leach, who just is more like a tap and go here. Couldn't get a handle on it, knew she had to be quick, play everything perfectly. Maybe some spin too, with the spin that Coric provides, some spin off the bat that continue to spin up the glove of Jessie Warren trying to get a good grip.
They ruled that a hit.
I put it down as a hit.
Did you?
Yeah.
Really?
I did.
Okay.
Yeah, because I thought that she was going to beat it out.
We're usually on the same page
I know,
on this.
we are.
I
I really thought about it too before I wrote down a hit before you even said that. But
okay. 2-1 count now for Coric, working on Kowalik. She tries to bunt, but goes behind the plate. Charlize Palacios is catching for the first time in her career, so veteran pitcher working with rookie catcher.
you think she has a different colored glove to match what team she's on? Because if so, that's pretty cool. But blue glove on the blue team, maybe 4 different gloves. Need to ask her about that.
Or blue glove for UCLA Bruins.
It could be that too. I just wanted to
I like it.
to think maybe she had a different glove for every team.
Yeah, I don't want to ruin your theory, but there's a B on, there's a Navy B on that glove that looks awfully like the Bruin B. Full count now. Kowalik couldn't quite get the sacrifice down in this at bat. Now swinging away. Team Alexander scored their run in the first inning. Chopper here would have to be really quick to get Kowalik, and they won't. There's 1 out. Let's go down to Savannah.
Captain Gwen Svekis has had to get creative with these lineups because of all the different options she has, particularly at the middle infield position. So we are seeing Sis Bates play right field after she was drafted. Sis called Gwen and said, hey, wherever and whenever you need me, I will play it, whatever it takes to be able to contribute to this team. And Gwen said, even though this is her first time ever this week playing outfield in her career, Sis is the type of person who just takes the edge off of the game because of the personality and way that she buys into a team. But Sis said, hey, I've got my best friend to my right in Aaliyah Andrews. I just keep looking over at her saying, does this look good? How am I doing over here? So she has got confidence not only from her captain, but from her bestie, the center fielder, Aaliyah Andrews, too.
So cute. And when you look out at this team, I mean, it is just defensive prowess after prowess just all around. Jessie Warren, Ortez, Flippin, Andrews, Klingler, Hayward out in left field, who could easily also play center field. And then Andrews, as you mentioned, that just flies through the air in center.
Just hope that Sis Bates gets a chance to make an outstanding play in right field as Nichols goes down swinging. Coric's first strikeout of the year.
Off-speed pitch here, dropping it down to about 55 miles an hour. Spins down and away from Bubba. Good pitch location by Georgina Coric.
Georgina Coric has her eyes set on 2028. The British national team hoping to take them to new heights. Davidson gets hit. She wanted a chance to swing. Wasn't too happy about that.
Third baseman, number 52.
16th career hit by pitch for Mia Davidson.
I feel like that's a high number. It's a very high number. I'm being sarcastic, but I'm sure this one hurts the least out of some other ones that she's had in her career. Just barely grazed her.
Now to Sam Fisher.
Man, that looked like a strike to me again. Not getting that low and outside corner. These hitters are going to start taking notes that that pitch is not being called, no matter if it's an off-speed pitch or a more firm pitch on the outer half to these right-handed hitters.
Does catch the inside corner, strike one.
Palacios is calling a lot of off-speed pitches for Corrick early in this game, really mixing things up early.
Another one.
Yeah. And on both sides of the plate, too, you're seeing her throw that pitch and mix it in. Getting herself ahead 1-2.
We asked for the back-to-back off-speeds last game. Hard and away, just misses.
But Corrick thought that she had that. That's that pitch, you guys, that's just not getting called. That looks like it should be a called strike. These pitchers on both sides are wanting it.
Count even at 2-2. Fisher goes up. Out and up after the off-speed pitch on the inside corner. See what Corrick's next move is. Another 2-2, down low, gets away from Palacios, and both runners advance. Big pitch right here early in this game. 10-inning win points on the line. Fisher underneath it. Couple converging on it, and Urtez is the one that makes the grab to strand a pair for Georgina Corrick. So both pitchers leaving two on the base paths in the first.
In game one earlier today, Team Dedham got the win 2-1. McQuillan got the start, Cagle came in relief, and then Sarah Willis came in and got the save, pitched the last 3 innings of the game. Walked 3, but only gave up 1 hit and no runs. That led to that save and to the win for her team. She pitched great as the 3rd pitcher that we saw for Team Dedham in that win, and we're joined by her now. She is our star in the stands. Sarah, what did you feel like was working for you today?
I think overall everything was working pretty well. I had a great defense behind me, and so when I would get behind in counts, they were just staying in my ear telling me that my stuff is good. Same thing with Sachel behind the plate. She really had my back, calling a great game, and I just had a great time being out there for my first debut.
What was the plan going into the game? What did Alyssa Denham tell the pitching staff before today as far as what the plan was?
We had a talk with everyone, catchers included, and she just sat us down and she was like, we're going to just pitch everybody, go split the games. Nobody's throwing a full game unless they're just pounding the zone, throwing a perfect game, but for the most part, just splitting. And we got 4 great pitchers, and we all complement each other, throwing different things, and she was just like, we're just going to go at everybody and have a great time doing it.
It's your first year with Athletes Unlimited, but you got like a little bit of a taste at AUX in Wichita. Was there anything you tried to change heading into this season that you might have learned in Wichita?
I don't think I really changed anything. I just think I told myself I need to stay consistent, and you are facing some of the best hitters in the world, so it's just about hitting spots and being able to throw multiple speeds and throwing different heights and different quadrants, because you can't just beat people with one pitch, or you can't just beat people with one part of the plate. So just working throughout the zone and working to get ground balls and pop-ups.
Sarah, when you're out there, you seem to have a really big personality. You don't like to have any fun when you're out there on the field, do you?
I actually love having fun out on the field, but I am really serious when I get in the mound, so it's definitely different. But like if I were to be if you see me in the dugout or you see me out in the outfield, I'm always joking around and dancing. But I try to be more serious in the mound and just hold my composure to a high standard and just have a good time.
Okay, what we really are serious about is how much we love your first pitch, which we're showing right now. The overhand throw every time you come out for the inning. Where does this come from?
Honestly, I don't like how everybody else gets to throw, like with the practice ground balls. I don't get to do that, so I just throw one overhand to get my arm warmed up, and then I get to it and start warming up underhand too.
Okay, but how did that start?
I think it was my freshman year, and JT D'Amico was like, you should throw a pitch overhand to intimidate people. And I was like, are you serious? And he was like, yeah, you should totally do it. And I've just honestly done it ever since. I'd like to, in my past life, or like maybe if I wasn't a softball player, I'd like to think I could be a baseball pitcher. But like watching baseball pitchers throw like behind home plate, like the ball moves so much. So I don't know if I could actually do that or if I'm just delusional.
I mean, you're usually on it too, and you're bringing. We need to get like the radar out there on you for the overhand pitch. We need to know. But okay, before we let you go, do you have a favorite pitcher, baseball or softball, that you've watched growing up?
I think I'd have to say one of my most favorite pitchers and somebody that I got to play with recently was Keilani Ricketts. She was one of the first pitchers that I saw that hit, and I was like, oh, like I can be a hitting pitcher, I can do it. And then also just like Odyssey too, Alicia, like looking up to people like that, Rachel Garcia, Megan, just honestly so many great role models throughout my time. And then getting to play against them or play with them here is such a great experience.
We are so happy to have you, Sarah. We'll check back in with you later in the game. Thanks for the time.
Alrighty, thank you guys.
Sarah Willis in her first season as a pro. I think she might have a few more after this one. She's off to a great start as a rookie. Oh, Masson here in the second. 1, 2, 3, strikeout and a couple ground outs. To the bottom half we go. 20 points on the line for Team Alexander. Athletes Unlimited Pro Softball is fueled by Gatorade. Some shots from opening night with a lot of excitement. 1-0, 5-1. A lot of points not being shared last night. 230 of the 240 possible were captured by 2 of the 4 teams. These 2 were on the wrong side of that. And today in a battle already, bottom of the second, Team Alexander hoping to capture 20-inning win points with a run here. The veteran Nadia Taylor will lead things off in front of another great crowd. Back-to-back really good crowds to start the season here in Rosemont. This field of players is absolutely loaded. When do you feel like we start to actually see, you know, maybe a top 10 really take shape? Like week 3, you think?
I guess so, but I'm even thinking back to AUX and some hot starts that kind of started to shape the top 10 even in that first week. But you know, it's a shortened season, so maybe that's why that first week dictates a little bit more. But yeah, I really start to feel like it happens in week 2 or 3. It's crazy how important every single game is from the very beginning. That's why you love it, because every game means something. Every pitch means something. Every inning is worth points. Like, it all means something for the total point number that you're trying to accumulate to win this thing.
Up the middle, that one does get through. Hops over second base, leadoff single for Nadia Taylor, who's fresh off her best finish ever with a 9th place finish at AUX. Well, let's take a look at the Game 1 MVPs brought to you by the U.S. Air Force. Amanda Lorenz, rightfully so, the 2-run home run that ended up being the winner, gets MVP 1. Sarah Willis MVP 2. That's good for 40 points. And Taylor McQuillan, who started the game, and also the defensive MVP of that game, who gets 20 points. How about some love for the catcher, Sashel Palacios?
Oh, well, she caught 3 different pitchers and handled them all well. Only gave up 1 run in that game.
Kaylee Harding at the plate lets that one go upstairs. 2 games for Sashel Palacios and 2 defensive MVP nods. So it's a great way for other players who specialize in different areas to climb up the leaderboard. Korick lets Another one get away, down 3-0 in the count. So the younger Palacios, Charlize, wants to chat it up. Quillen, Lorenz, Harshman, Willis, Denham, all members of Team Denham up at the top of the leaderboard. The top 10 are all on Team Denham. And that might go further. That could be even more. Popped up. Oh, as close as it's going to get.
Look at the mark.
As close as it's going to get. And Rob, our stat man, did not have his window open, or maybe a chance. Oh, my goodness.
No, it wouldn't have come in. Hit at the top.
Maybe you could reach out, though.
Oh,
You got a
yeah.
chance.
Yeah.
Oh. I can't believe it.
The first baseman, number 3.
I'm disappointed right now.
Alexander.
The window will be forever scarred. There it is, right up there. You can't quite see it, but
It's right in front
right
of
to our
Rob.
left. Enough that I stood up and reached. Oh,
Right there.
so
Man,
disappointing.
so close.
Well, Kaylee Harding drew a walk while that happened. It's going to be a pinch runner at second now for Nadia Taylor. Josie Muffley, second-year player out of Florida State, will run.
Pinch running out at second base for Nadia Taylor, number 14, Josie Muffley. Muffley running.
Okay.
Just misses. Corrick having a little bit of control issues here in the second. Odyssey Alexander, big chance here as the captain to help her team. Up and in, ball 2.
Yeah, good time to be patient and take that pitch with the way that Corrick is throwing this inning and what she's showing Team Alexander, that in trouble right now finding the zone.
Trying to lay down a bunt there, 2-0, and fouls it back. Let's go down to Savannah.
When Georgina Corrick stepped onto the pro scene in 2022, she stunned. She was 5th on the leaderboard at AUX, led that season with 27 strikeouts, a 2.14 ERA. But last year, throughout 2023, she struggled a little bit, finished in 29th at AUX and champ season, and has just kind of been, there some games, put in some tough situations too throughout last season. So I asked her today, hey, coming in, fresh start 2024, do you have any goals or intentions as you step into the circle for the first time? And she said, I'm working through some things right now as a pitcher. She feels like she's in the process of redefining herself and finding her identity as a third-year pro. It was so poignant, so honest. And Amanda, have you ever gone through that process or worked with a pitcher as they did that, trying to redefine themselves and establish who they are at a new point in their career?
Yeah, I mean, didn't get to play professionally, but in college, I thought out that I could come out my sophomore year and be the same pitcher that I was my freshman year, and I was in for a rude awakening. So after that, my junior year, made some decisions to add a new pitch, to give a different look, to put in the work that maybe I didn't necessarily do after my freshman year, and paid off. But it went fairly smooth for me, but that doesn't mean that it would be that way if I continued on to be a professional and try to develop some things and change some things later on as you go in your career, like Georgina Corrick is going through right now.
What pitch did you add?
A drop ball.
Okay.
I didn't have when I was a freshman. And I think too, Georgina Corrick is so analytical that she can find little tiny things to change or adjust or tweak. Nice pitch there, throwing that change up in the full count. A lot of confidence in that pitch to go to it. We've been talking about her off-speed pitch, and that's a pitch that she's been leaning on a lot today. She gets her second strikeout. Both of them have been with off-speed pitches, getting the top of the zone. Not necessarily the best location for that pitch, more up in the zone, but she just freezes Odyssey Alexander, who doesn't even take a swing at it.
McKinney swinging first pitch off of Klingler at first, but they corrected the call at first. Originally said safe, but clearly out at first base, and it was corrected there.
Well, I thought that she was going to be safe because Bailey Klingler tagged the orange bag and not the white bag. So I wish that we could always get clarification on little things like this for why she's actually going to be out. He had called safe to begin with. And the only thing I can think of is because the ball took her on that side of the bag, then she can tag that bag.
That's my understanding of it.
But at first, he did say safe, and then he changed it to out. That's a huge out.
So second and third now, 2 away. 2 big outs in a row there. The strikeout and the ground out quickly of McKinney. Aubrey Leach, top of the order, big chance here, and jumps ahead 2-0.
But just to finish up on court, she is so analytical, and she sees the game in so many different ways that I feel like in her mind there's probably always something to work on. And that's how most pitchers feel anyway, to be honest. You always feel like there's something to work on. You're never perfect, always just striving to hit that next level, whether it's a new personal high in terms of velocity or adding a new pitch or setting up different sequencing. Always working to get better.
3-1 to Leach. Kayla Kowalik is on deck. $20 points on the line. That is a really good location from Corrick.
Really good.
Big pitch coming up, full count, 2 away. Leach swinging into left field. It brings 1 home. She'll stay put at first. It's good for 20-inning win points for everybody on Team Alexander.
Again, Corrick goes back to that off-speed pitch, and Leach, good 2-strike approach to just think about going the opposite way with 2 strikes so that you're not getting fooled on that off-speed pitch if she throws it. Such a good approach to have is when you get 2 strikes, that way you're not necessarily fooled by that off-speed pitch because you're looking to drive a pitch the opposite way, and she does just that. Scores the first run of this game.
Aubrey Leach, one of the toughest outs in the league, has been for a while now. Kayla Kowalik. I love the split grip. Talked about that a little bit at AUX, but she is really dangerous at the plate.
It was better.
Out at second. Palacio showing off the arm, and they get Leach stealing.
Yeah, it's brave to throw all the way through, and at first and third, you have that other runner at third base that could potentially score if you don't get the out here, but a lot of confidence in Palacio's arm and the tag.
1-0, 20-inning win points going Team Alexander's way. That's now 9 innings played on this first weekend for Team Spekas. Still looking for their first win points, and they've never been down by more than 1 run. That's just cruel. They've given up 2 runs in 9 innings and don't have a single win point. Still looking for their first runs offensively. 9-1-2 coming up against Mariah Masson. The way Masson's been throwing the last couple seasons, it usually doesn't take much. Plenty of speed at the plate, though, to lead things off here with Aaliyah Andrews, who's hit 400 during the championship season last year. Had 18 hits, 3 doubles, stole 4 bases. That just misses outside, ball 1. We've got Aubrey Leach mic'd up at shortstop for us. Aubrey, nice inning last inning for you guys and a good swing for you. What were the conversations like in that second inning off Corrick?
I mean, the first inning, I think we saw a lot of pitches, and so that's just helping us continue to feel comfortable up there. And then just trusting our stuff, even with 2 strikes, like having a good at bat, battling off pitches, and really making the other team work.
Aubrey, do you love it when somebody like Aaliyah Andrews is in the box and you get a chance to make a quick play?
Oh yeah, it makes my life so much easier with a speedster in the box. No, it's so difficult. She's so dynamic. Good, nice. Yeah, you never know what is gonna come. Hard slap, chop, bunt. She's so fast, so anything on the ground, you gotta be quick with it. And so, yeah, makes my job real tough.
I know we talked to you about this before, but you've got the coaching experience as a GA at Tennessee. I feel like part of your value, I mean, you're drafted high because you're one of the toughest outs in the league, obviously, but it just seems like you really love the coaching side and the drafting and putting teams together. And even when you're not in the captain's chair, what is it about that side of the game that you like?
I really like the mental side of this game. I think it's something that's kind of underrated and not talked about all the time, especially at the younger levels. Slap. Good pitch, Raya. But it's something I've really fallen in love with, and I like to, you know, solve the puzzle. The other team, it's kind of like a chess match. As soon as you make a move, they're going to make one too. And so just learning some tendencies, learning to read people's swings and things like that have just always piqued my interest. Slap. Out.
Is there any way that in the past 2 years of being a professional that you've worked on your mental game, whether it's journaling or talking to anybody or anything that you found that you've added to your game to work on your mental game outside of the game itself?
Definitely journaling. I write down my at-bats. Looking for patterns, honestly, and slap. Ooh, off. Stick sig, stick sig. See you working, Raf. Journaling, just looking for those patterns, looking to see if like there's any advantage I could grab, just knowing that I will face some of these catchers multiple times. You got Sid. Yeah, right. And then really just like picking people's brains. Oh, I can hear. I'm good.
Funny that you said face these catchers multiple times, right? Not pitchers multiple times. You meant to say catchers, right?
I did. Bunt! Stick, stick. I think one of the mental advantages is not only knowing what a pitcher throws, but having to kind of decode what a catcher's tendencies are and where they like to try to get you. And even just watching the game before, seeing, you know, where people go to for their strikeout pitches or where they go to for out pitches and things like that. Yeah, right. Bunt!
Aubrey,
That's a spot.
I asked you a couple of years ago about law school and being a GA and your schedule that has to be ridiculous, but just for the people at home, the last few years for you, you graduated from law school at Tennessee in May. What's your week been like when you've been going through all this the last few years?
The last few years have been bunt! Up, Mia! Check here, check here! The last few years have been quite busy. My plate's been very full. But it's just, I mean, we all were student athletes. We know how to time manage. And so I think that was the biggest advantage I had is just, you know, we already had to do it. And now is kind of just the extreme version.
I already thought it was kind of extreme, but maybe not to your level. We're just going to listen in for these next couple of outs and see what's going on the field. So thanks for joining us. We'll just be listening to you still.
Yeah, thank you guys. Hopefully we continue to make some awesome plays and keep the game exciting.
It's always the goal, right?
Always.
Here you go.
Yes, yeah.
I'm playing in just a little bit just in case you decide to sneaky.
Yes. I'm going to take this out of my ear now.
Oh, no.
Aaliyah Andrews at first base, 1 out. Anna flipping at the plate. Jesse Warren on deck. Dangerous part of the order.
Aubrey Leach and Sam Fisher are really close friends, too. Communicate really well with each other on that left side.
Yeah, Raya, yeah, Raya.
The ultimate communicator at shortstop is Aubrey Leach.
Yummy. Out.
Someone who could put her
Job, Raya. Way to get
at second base as well. I mean, she's so
6-0.
versatile,
Good spot.
so quick, such a good athlete, gets good reads. I mean, and playing shortstop versus playing second
Yeah,
base
6-0. Yeah,
is
6-0.
very different,
Yes,
but
right.
you could plug her in either position.
Yeah, 6-0. Good idea.
The only
Yeah,
place you
See
cannot
working,
put
see
her
working.
is on the bench because the bat is ridiculous. So dynamic at the plate from the left side.
Yeah, 6-0. Getty. Yeah, right. Yeah, right.
Full count from Masson.
See you. See you. Yummy.
You see these hitters taking that pitch pretty consistently now. I mean, they know that if it's on the outer half and it looks like it's going to be bending out, that they can take that pitch. It's going to be called a ball with his zone.
Yeah, Raya. Yeah, Raya.
A walk for flipping. First and second now with just one out.
See you working.
The third baseman,
A lot of walks in this game already.
Jessie Warren.
It's the third walk issued by Mariah Masson.
Yeah, Kay.
4 base runners in the first 2 1/3 now for Masson. 3 walks, 1 single. Five 3-ball counts.
I did, yeah. Yeah, 6-0. Yeah, 6-0.
I'm sure, especially with the drop ball pitcher like Masson in the circle, they're hoping for a ground ball to turn into a double play.
2-0, Davidson wants to chat. Aubrey Leach going to join in with the rest of the infield here. Runners on first and second. Jessie Warren at the plate. Anissa Ortez on deck. Big chance here with the power hitter Jessie Warren up. 0 for 1 with a flyout so far.
They're doing a great job in this inning of taking a lot of pitches. Meaning
Yeah,
that if the ball is hit back to Masson, then McKinney is going to be covering second base instead of Aubrey Leach. An important part of communication is who is going to cover second base when the ball is hit back to the pitcher. When the ball is hit to the right side, the shortstop's going to cover second base. When the ball's hit to the left side, the second baseman's going to cover second base. But it's always like, who's going to take it when it's hit to the middle?
Good pitch, right.
And even at the college level, I mean, this is Little League Day, right? This is Little League Day. There's a lot of Little Leaguers play in the stands right now, and these are things that they're learning at 11, 12, 13 years old. These are things that the professional players are still talking about and communicating about.
Into right center field, Harding coming on, won't get there. Aaliyah Andrews coming home, the throw is close! Swipes it, but couldn't get her arm. Andrews just around the tag to tie this game at 1. The first run for Team Speckus this weekend.
Such a good at bat by Hannah Flippin, and awesome throw by Harding. One hops it, and then that quick tag by Davidson that clearly misses Andrews. She just gets around it. She is so fast. That was so well played by both Harding and Davidson. Ties up this game.
Warren with the RBI single. Moves Flippin to second, so they're still in business here. A chance to take the lead with their cleanup hitter, Anissa Ortez, at the plate. Ortez had some clutch hits last year. That misses outside, ball 1. Ortez walked her first time to the plate. Her wife, Amanda Chittister, is here this weekend watching her.
Just to answer back for Team Speckus. It's Team Alexander that scored in the in the bottom of the second inning, that one run, and then they're able just to answer right back. Seen that a couple times today.
Masson ahead 1-2. Ball 2.
Such good discipline with that pitch that Team Svekis is showing, and also Team Alexander for that matter.
It's fouled back. That was pitch number 26 here in this third inning for Masson. Led Oregon State to the Women's College World Series in 2022, won 70 games there, hit .317 for her career at the plate as well. We've seen her hit a little bit at Athletes Unlimited. Slow roller right side, McKinney only plays at first.
Next up, the catcher.
I was wondering if McKinney had a chance to tag Jessie Warren when she ran right in front of her, but that was such a bang-bang play. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Different angle that we have from up here, but you see that angle, and it was pretty clear that Jessie Warren was past her, and she's a good bit away, but man, that easily could have been a double play, just a few inches off.
Rookie Charlize Palacios, Warren at second, flipping at third. Last chance to take the lead here in the third inning. Went up, got that up and in. Masson, the first pick by Odyssey Alexander in the draft, 4th overall earlier this week to set this Series 1 teams. That misses inside, ball 2.
Talked about why Masson has had so much success of living on the edges, and she's doing that in this game, but just not getting some of the calls. And I think it's gotten her into a bit of trouble, maybe some calls that she's been used to getting, or maybe not being as precise with those pitches off the edges, but making some good pitches, just finding herself going deep into some counts, throwing a lot of pitches, already 60 pitches thrown in this top of the third inning.
Two to Palacios.
Long third inning.
Especially after just 10 in the second when she went 1, 2, 3, strikeout and 2 groundouts. Third full count this inning. Palacios stays alive.
I always think because of the angle that Palacios holds her barrel in her stance, like when her hands are above her head, that her barrel just looks so long. Her bat looks longer than everybody else's. And I always think it's maybe because of how high she holds her hands or the angle that she holds it at. But especially from that center field view, it just looks like it's such a long bat.
I agree. Okay, I'm glad you pointed that out. Like early in the at-bat, I was like, man, I wonder if it's like the way she's holding her hands. Something looked different to me.
Yeah, like her bat looks 3 or 4 inches longer than everybody else's. And maybe it is. I don't know. I need to ask her what size her bat is, what length her bat is.
8th pitch of this at-bat coming into left center field. Palacios delivers off the wall. 2 runs will score, and it's a double for Charlize Palacios. The first lead of the weekend now for Team Svekis.
Great at bats that they're putting together in this inning. That's an off-speed pair. Actually, it looked like a drop ball down in the zone that just hangs up there, and because she's not getting these calls on the edges and on the corners, it forces Masson to come more on the plate, and Palacios able to take advantage of that with 2 RBI.
Svekis swinging first pitch. Palacios holds up at third. Gwen Sloan was playing a little bit of a game there with Mia Davidson, but stays put at first base. Nice swing for her. This is what this team's been waiting for, the bats to wake up a little bit. And now for Team Alexander, it's a matter of just keeping this close with Sis Bates at the plate. Pinch runner for the captain Svekis at first base. It'll be Morgan DeBoard, the rookie out of Minnesota.
I think Hannah Flippen is kind of like a co-captain there, making that pinch runner change for the captain, Svekis. Gave her a high five after that, but of course the captain's going to be the one usually making the call, but with Svekis reaching, kind of goes into a co-captain situation with Flippen making the move.
Hayward, Flippen, Warren, Urtez, the top four in the order for Team Svekis. I mean, that's a veteran, very veteran group that Gwen put together up there. They had 5 hits in their first 9 innings of action, have 4 hits alone in this inning. Off the end of the bat, that's awkward for Aubrey Leach. Sis Bates is on, and Palacios scores.
It's just got to be so frustrating for Masson that nothing really going your way in this inning. And on the other hand, for Team Svekis, being able to push across these runs, scoring 2 out runs.
Still not done. Klingler, this is everybody coming to the plate here. Leach flips to third, and they finally get out of the inning and strand a pair, but not before 4 come across. Big inning there for Team Svekis. They have a 3-run lead. (4-1) big inning for Team Svekis, looking for their first win points of the weekend, up 4-1. Team Alexander coming to the plate. You can get closer to the action with your free Unlimited Club membership. Vote on game MVPs, compete in the AU Fantasy League for exclusive prizes and more. Sign up now at auprosoftball.com. Great day here in Chicago. 83 degrees, sunny, light breeze, and a new pitcher out there for Team Svekis. It'll be a 2024 debut for Peyton St. George. Her 3rd season out of Mechanicsville, Virginia, played her college ball at Duke. Her first Duke appearance was their 2nd game in program history, through 4 2/3 of relief and struck out 6. Helping set the tone for that program that just made their first ever Women's College World Series appearance.
A lot of these players from Duke and Clemson are in the same boat. Started up those programs, got to be there from the very beginning.
Tough for Tez. That's a former defensive MVP, though, making it look easy.
Center fielder, number 48,
She's smiling, too, about that hop that ended up moving right into her glove. Played that well, moved her feet into that ground ball more toward the middle of the field. Nice hands.
Sis Bates stays in the blue lineup. She is now the DP.
Bubba Nichols with a 1-0 count, working against St. George. How you feeling? Georgina Corrick, 2 innings, just gave up the 1 run, decided to make the move, had a little bit of command there in the 2nd inning, but overall, how are you feeling about her in that first outing?
Okay, I feel like she made some good pitches. The strike zone didn't help her out at all. I feel like to be able to get into any kind of a rhythm. I've seen the same thing with Peyton St. George, but made some good pitches. I think that she can really build off the outing that she had today. Georgina Corrick can.
2-1 count for St. George now. Nichols stays with that pitch and sends it into right field. 1-out single for Bubba.
The catcher, number 33, Mia Davidson.
Bubba Nichols has just been so good at going with pitches. It's a bit of an off-speed pitch, even about a ball off the plate, but because it's up some, about belt high, she's able to hit a line drive out to the right side of the field. But that's what she's just been so good at doing, is using all parts of the field, not trying to pull those outside pitches, just being on time with them, letting them get deep. Did the same thing in yesterday's game.
Interesting to see how Gwen Svekis uses this pitching staff the rest of the way. Still basically 5 innings to play. Faremo started yesterday. We saw Catherine Sandercock in relief. Nice pitch there for strike 1.
It just floats in there. Peyton St. George has really developed her off-speed pitches throughout these past few years, including an off-speed rise and an off-speed curve, and she'll throw her changeup. So that's really kind of pitcher that she's turned into, is just more of a pitcher that's going to vary her speeds all throughout an AB. Much more, seems like, than when she was in college.
3-1 count to Davidson, who was hit by a pitch her first time to the plate. Pitch clock violation against St. George, and Mia Davidson, a couple free passes for her now. That's 10 points on the walk, and now first and second with 1 out.
Time goes by quickly. 15 seconds is just, you gotta keep moving in between pitches. That 15 seconds goes by so fast.
Sam Fisher up, 2 on, 1 out. Fisher fouls that back. We've got the starting pitcher, Georgina Korich, here for a chair chat. Georgina, your thoughts on your performance to start the season?
It definitely leaves a lot to be desired. I think anytime you ask pitchers, we throw all these pitches and we'll always focus on the ones that we didn't love. So I think coming off my season in Japan, a lot of what I've been trying to do is redefine myself, refigure out throwing on the turf as opposed to throwing on what's essentially sand, and just trying to refine my mechanics, because it can be kind of difficult when you lose it, trying to get back to what feels comfortable and what feels really strong for you.
Georgina, what is it about your mechanics when you say lose it? What is it specifically that you've been working on?
I think when you watch a pitcher pitch, sometimes you can tell when they are very mechanically sound because it looks very cohesive. We talk a little bit about, it's called kind of the kinetic chain, the way that things move in sequence. And so sometimes I can feel when my hips are moving a little too fast, if I'm lagging somewhere. And oftentimes it's very difficult because when something's off in the kinetic sequence, everything feels a little off. So I think something for me is I'm firing my hips maybe at a different time, and in doing that, I lose a little bit of the connection through my arm and through my snap and my whip and my release, and suddenly your pitches are not what you kind of feel comfortable throwing, and that can be very difficult when it's almost like a pitching slump in a sense, the same way that hitters get in slumps.
Yeah, absolutely, I totally get it. Or is that something you're very analytical? So I know that you've probably thought about why that's been happening. Do you think it's because you've pitched so much? Do you think it's because maybe you're tighter in some other areas of your body? Like, where do you feel like that's coming from for you?
I think it's a really good question. I think as we get older, we start to realize that things that we took for granted being young, and kind of, we talk about muscles. Ooh, good ball, Sam. Muscles being very elastic, being able to keep those elastic and keep them moving at the same frequency and strength can be very difficult as you start to get older, and you have to train them a little differently than when I was a young buck at 18, 19, 20 years old.
Georgina, always love the time. Thank you so much.
Of course, thank you guys.
Georgina Korich, she's extremely intelligent.
Oh my gosh, she's so smart. And can, you know, explain things in a way that's very clear. Some challenging, kind of in-depth topics.
So Jesse Warren does get, or excuse me, Sam Fisher gets an RBI single for that last swing. Brings up Nadia Taylor. Tying run now on first base. Taylor's half swings foul. 1-1 count for Peyton St. George. Nadia Taylor had some clutch ABs in Wichita. One of them was a ground ball up the middle to walk it off in Game 1 of Bubba Nichols' doubleheader on the final day of the season, and that proved to be crucial in Bubba being able to chase down Jocelyn Alo for that top spot. Struck her out. Big out number 2.
And not only can Peyton St. George throw an off-speed rise ball up in the zone, but then she could bring it 69, 70 up in the zone and hit a spot like that. Great pitch location by Peyton St. George. She gets the chase of Nadia Taylor for an important second out.
Kaylee Harding's turn. I mentioned yesterday the 9 RBI game for Kaylee Harding that she lost. It was actually Nadia Taylor in that game. That was her walk-off to win 13-12. Great off-speed from St. George and jumps ahead 0-2.
Oh, that was such a good pitch. It's like it came out of her hand and almost looked like it stopped. You saw Harding kind of flinch with her knees, thinking that something harder was going to come. Whoa, pitch was nasty. Threw it again. There we go. Back-to-back off-speed pitches. That's what I like to see. Kaylee Harding didn't look like she knew what was coming at all with the one before. Goes back to it for the looking K to get out of the inning.
(4-2). Team Svekis picks up their first win points of the weekend. And we are off to the 4th inning. Some work to be done for Team Alexander. The AU Pro Shop excited to announce that select Nike softball player jerseys are available for purchase this season. The limited edition style designed with fans in mind won't last long. Visit shop.auprosports.com to purchase yours today. 9-1-2 coming up here for Team Svekis. Aaliyah Andrews had a base hit to lead off the 3rd inning, which produced 4 runs. She was one of them, and it extended a 13-game hit streak for her. Now she wants another one to start the 4th inning.
And how about during that hit streak, she's hit pretty much 450, scored 8 runs now.
No runs in the first 9, 4 in the last inning. Andrews did go for that one for strike 1. The visiting team has led briefly this weekend, but we have not had a visiting team win this weekend. We have not played the bottom of the 7th in the first 3 games of the season. Up the middle, right between the legs of Masson. Another base hit for Andrews.
Left fielder, number 1.
Gonna revisit with our star in the stands, Sarah Willis. Well, Sarah, what's your take on this game so far? Team Svekis finally get on the board with some runs that last inning.
Yeah, absolutely. Gwen has a great team that she picked out, and I think she's got a lot of great players. Like Vic who's up to bat right now, she can do it all, triple threat. So it's really just about what you're doing at the right time. Great play by Mariah there. A little pitcher field in their position. But yeah, I just think it's just about getting the right hits at the right time and passing the bat. And they finally broke through and did that. So I'm really happy for them. Same thing on our side. I feel like even in both of our games, we've been getting a lot of good balls, but just people are making great plays. That's what happens when you're playing against the best of the best. So, yeah. And Mariah's throwing a great game out there right now. I think she's just doing her thing. I'm not supposed to comment on umpires all the time, but, you know, just like a little tight zone back there, I say, for both sides, but that's what you got to work through, and, yeah.
Leach, long throw, and Odyssey did catch it at first base. I think this is going to be an instant challenge here. I don't know, Sarah, what do you think? Out or safe?
Ooh, I think Odyssey did a great job of receiving the ball, but she was safe. Yeah, they just called her safe.
Good call.
Yeah, that would have been an incredible play if Odyssey was able to keep her foot on that bag.
Yeah.
Leach pulls her off. Oh, I think I would challenge it if I were them. They're not going to, but I would challenge it.
I think this is a great situation right now, even though, oh, never mind. I was gonna say to turn a double play, but she stole. Yeah, smart of her to get to second base, so that takes away the turning the double play, especially with one out too, because then that ends the inning and they don't get to score that run. So smart run there to second base by Hannah.
Sarah, who do you attribute to helping you learn the game and understand these ins and outs that you're talking about within the game like you're talking about right now?
I think just starting off, my dad, he's been a big contributor in my life, softball overall. He played baseball overseas for a little bit, so he's taught me everything I know. But also my travel ball coach, Marty Tyson, he did a really good job of not only teaching us about softball, but also incorporating life into softball too. So I feel like I've learned a lot from both of them, and it's been an awesome experience.
Sarah, how about the transfer too? You got the chance to play at UCF and make that transition from the American Conference to the Big 12. What was that experience like for you as on the athletic side of things?
Honestly, obviously the AAC was a great conference, but definitely getting to go to the Big 12 for my senior year was such a great jump because I really got to challenge myself. And you're facing some of the best people, just for instance, Oklahoma, like getting to play they were the 3-time, but now 4-time national champion back to back, like getting to face them. And then just people who are also in the Big 12, Texas, Oklahoma State, all these great teams that were making postseason runs every single year. Just the competition is endless. So I think it was really good to just test my caliber of pitching and just adjust and learn from it. But I had a really good time playing in the Big 12.
We are glad you're here now, Sarah. Thank you so much for sticking around after the game. You're off the hook, though. You're off. You can go relax for tomorrow's game.
All righty. Thank you guys so much for having me.
Thanks, Sarah.
Sarah Willis, our star in the stands tonight, played in game one through 3 really good innings. It was a 3-inning save for her, first of her Athletes Unlimited Championship career. Tough spot here for Masson. This is hit hard into center field over the head of the center fielder Nichols. Warren going into second base, a 2 RBI double. The bats of Team Svekis are officially awake.
And Jessie Warren's definitely going to be a candidate for MVP points when this is all said and done. 3 RBIs in this game now for Jessie Warren. Sits back on this changeup so well, gets deep into her legs and into her front side. Full extension up the middle of the field. Good swing by Jessie Warren. Drive in 2, now extends the lead 6-2.
This might be where the change happens for Team Alexander. Soane's day coming to a close. Not the start she had hoped. 2 solid innings to kick things off. And ran into trouble in the 3rd and 4th. And she will exit having given up 6 runs. She's responsible for Jessie Warren at second base as well. Here comes the rookie Kayla Beaver for her professional debut. Jackson, Tennessee, finished her college career at Alabama. We will step away while she gets ready. A debut, though, for Kayla Beaver when we return. (6-2), Team Svekis in control. Top of the 4th, 1 out, and a new pitcher out there for Team Alexander. Kayla Beaver, the rookie from Alabama, is one of the best in Central Arkansas history. Transferred to Bama this year to help fill the void left by Montana Fouts. You saw her this year for the Crimson Tide. What do you see from her?
Well, first of all, I'm really excited for her rookie debut. I mean, how cool of a moment for her to come from Central Arkansas, played her dream school at Alabama for a year, and now be a professional athlete. She throws with really good velocity. You see it just touch 72 on her gun there. Go with the curveball, also a drop ball, and can mix in a rise ball too. Not going to throw as many off-speed pitches. Certainly she didn't in college, but she'll need that pitch here as a pro.
Into right field, kind of off the end of the bat. Harding throws home. It's high, right back to Davidson. What are the odds? And they tag Warren out. Urtez has to stay at second. That was perfect from Kaylee Harding, just how she drew it up.
And Jessie Warren read that throw in the air at third base. She saw the angle of it, that it was going to sail. So she was taking off before she even realized, or before most people even knew that it was going to go beyond Mia Davidson's head. But Team Alexander gets the great bounce and able to get that important second out. But Jessie Warren read that from the hand of Kaylee Harding. She was going to run on it, but they got the bounce off the wall and able to get that out for the rookie in the circle.
That's how you record your first out as a rookie right there.
You could hear Gwen Svekis on deck because of our microphones that are around the field saying 71. Remember, this is the first time that these pro athletes, these AU athletes that have been here for a while, the vets are going to see Kayla Beaver, so they're learning her the way that everybody else is learning her too, and she's saying 71. It's good velocity.
And up there in the low 70s, Palacios swung through that for strike two. 1-2. Beaver looking for her first career strikeout. Inside, almost got Palacios. Had a 2 RBI double her last trip to the plate. She's had a good start to her professional career, just a couple days in. Started her career at Arizona before finishing at UCLA. Long run for Harding, won't be able to get there.
She wears number 91. 19 was her dad's number, but I think that was taken, so she just flipped it to become 91. But also, Kayla Beaver was born on 9/11, the actual 9/11 date.
That's back foul. I know, you've got all kinds of good nuggets. And what a luxury for Patrick Murphy to be able to bring in Kayla Beaver after losing Montana Fouts the year before. Just 1 year in Alabama, but a very successful one. This is hit into left field and caught out there by Kowalik. So Beaver gets the job done. An odd first out, and then the next one a little more routine. To hear more from Sydney McKinney, visit AU Pro Sports on YouTube to watch the entire video today. It was a cool experience for her, getting to go back to where she became a superstar of college softball at Wichita State. Some high fives for the young fans in the front row right there as Odyssey Alexander leads it off. 8-9-1 here for Team Alexander, in need of some runs. 10 more win points on the line if they can't score at least 2, but also the fact that this game has kind of started to get away from them the last couple innings.
Yeah, that big inning for the top of the third for Team Svekis was a big one, but then following up with a 2 spot and scoring back-to-back innings has helped them have this 4-run lead with 6 runs on the board.
Second inning of work for Peyton St. George. Sent foul toward the parking lot from Odyssey. 0-2. Outside, Peyton St. George got really into running in the last couple years. Also into pickleball in a big way. You play pickleball?
I do. I haven't played in a while, but I absolutely love it.
Great pitch, the off speed again from PSG to get the strikeout.
It's actually 3 strikeouts in a row for Peyton St. George. Yeah, off-speed pitch, outside corner.
Now working against McKinney. Straight back, foul ball. McKinney had 15 hits in Wichita, hit .429. 0 for 1 today, watches that pitch for ball 1. Started all 244 games at Wichita State between 2019 and 2023. .451 career average.
I mentioned that Peyton St. George likes to run, and she's going to be in the New York City Marathon.
Really?
In November.
Last year when we were here, we were talking to her, and she was training at the time for a marathon.
I mean, how about all these other sports that she plays, too? I mean, you mentioned pickleball, but she's also in a beach volleyball league and a kickball league.
Interesting.
Yeah, and she's going to run a marathon, so she's getting it from a lot of different ways.
I wonder how competitive the beach volleyball is. Athletes Unlimited has volleyball, so she can probably get some tips from some of the players around here. Molly McCage is one who works for Athletes Unlimited. She's wandering around here somewhere, but we've got some good sources of information. Left side, Ortez to get McKinney. 2 outs.
The shortstop, number 75.
You play any volleyball growing up?
I loved volleyball. Oh, yeah. I would still play now. I don't have the height like Peyton St. George or Molly McCage has, but I love volleyball.
You're a setter for sure.
I love watching it, or maybe a libero.
Yeah.
I love playing it.
Ball 1 from St. George. Back to the top of the order. Aubrey Leach 2 for 2. A pair of singles in this game. Got the chance to talk to Aubrey while she was out at shortstop earlier today. Love the access at Athletes Unlimited. So unique getting to talk to the players in game. We have usually 2 players per game mic'd up. We've got the chair chats. We've got Savannah Collins in the dugouts. Quick conversation here between Charlize Palacios and Peyton St. George. How about the resource Charlize has in her sister Sashel? You talk about going from the college game to the pro game, calling your own game with your pitchers. I'm sure those conversations were fun, especially over the last 4 or 5 weeks leading up to this season.
Yeah, and they're so close. And Sashel traveled to a lot of Charlize's games this past year. Getting to watch her play in her last year at UCLA. Such a close, tight-knit family.
Sashel at the hotel earlier today in the lobby, and she was talking about, it's kind of like, I didn't realize that was her first hit yesterday when I was behind the plate. I needed to get the ball, and I think they ended up getting the ball for Charlize from her first hit. In the clean inning for Peyton St. George, she's retired 5 straight. 6-2, Team Spec is winning. Let's go into the game now with the U.S. Air Force and Aubrey Leach.
On 3, 1, 2, 3. I got the power.
Nice.
Yeah, right. I threw it in the air today. I threw it in the air.
You did.
It's possible. Our baseball team blew up in the last 5 years. Because when I was there, They didn't even make the tournament. But now, freaking won a natty. Crazy.
It's Aubrey Leach talking about who, Amanda?
I think the Tennessee baseball team, as you just pour salt in my wounds here, Chucky.
I'm sorry. Oh, man. That was intentional, but when we were off air and I said, oh, yeah, they won it this year, didn't they? Who'd they? Oh, no, it was Texas A&M. I'm sorry.
Texas A&M.
I'm sorry. Well, Mia Davidson trying to shake that one off. Kayla Beaver back out there. Second inning of work, faced just 2 batters when she came in. Gave up the awkward single to right field. Errant throw from Harding that ricocheted off the padding back to Davidson, and they get Warren in a rundown, just as you would assume you'd get your first out as a pro, and then a fly out. Now working against Gwen Svekis, who watches that pitch on the inside corner. Good location by Beaver to jump ahead 0-2.
Yeah, you'll notice that Kayla Beaver starts on the far right side of the pitching rubber. Like, you can't get any further over than where she starts with her right foot on the right side. Said she likes to do that to work on the angle of her curveball, actually, to be able to cut that across the plate. And I'm watching Megan Faremo pitch yesterday. She starts on the far left side of the pitching rubber. So it's just interesting that it's something that you take for granted, how a pitcher is going to start, that they're just going to start right in the middle. But both of those pitchers start completely different opposite sides, both right-handed, but one starts far right, the other starts far left.
That sounds like a whole lot of not fun with Faremo if she's throwing inside to a righty and the ball is coming at that angle. Ooh, no thank you. Same with Beaver coming across to a lefty inside.
Yeah. Is able to make that curveball spin away from the right-handed hitters even more.
Things have gone well for Gwen's team since the 3rd inning. 8 of 14 at the plate, couple extra base hits, 6 RBIs. They've been money with runners in scoring position, hitting .500. That just goes a little inside.
But now, since I mentioned it, you can't not look at it, right? That she starts on the far right side. Like, now, every pitch, you're going to notice how far right she starts.
The handle right to Aubrey Leach, 1 out.
It reminds me of, like, you know, when you have like a Word document or you're typing in a document like that, you can be right justified or left justified. It's kind of like how Kayla Beaver is right justified and Megan Faremo is left justified.
Okay.
Everybody can relate to that, right?
You're making all kinds of stuff up tonight. We've got 3 innings left. I'm concerned.
Oh, she's making some good pitches here. Just a little bit too far off the plate. Both sides of the plate, just not getting the call.
Working against the right fielder, Sis Bates. Still can't quite get past that. Slow roller left side for Sam Fisher. Those 2 close friends as well, and Fisher gets her.
And Fisher makes the play. Next up, first baseman, number 38.
Beaver has recorded an out against all 4 batters she's faced. Klingler trying to keep it going here in the top of the 5th. Bailey Klingler out of Washington, back-to-back Huskies in the order for Gwen Svekis, from Bates to Klingler. Klingler into left, didn't quite get all of it, little out in front. Kowalik takes care of it. 1-2-3 from Kayla Beaver. Very nice debut for the rookie out of Alabama. Just 10 points on the line here for Team Alexandra. They need runs, down 4. 3 more chances at the dish for them here on day 2 of this championship season. Well, we wrap up week 1 tomorrow. Feels like it's flown by so far. Team Romero and Team Speck is kicking things off at 2 Eastern on ESPN2. Game 2 will be Team Denham and Team Alexander. Alyssa Denham looking to not just lead her team to 3-0, but potentially lead her team to every single win point available in week 1. And I think it would be shocking if you don't see at least a couple players off of Team Denham as captains come Monday. First pitch swinging for Kowalik is a ground ball out for Peyton St. George.
This opening weekend is just so fun. There's nothing that beats opening day, but I feel like that opening day energy just kind of stays all throughout the weekend, and it's flown by. So tomorrow we'll wrap it up and see how things shake out after week 1 of 5.
Taylor McQuillan in the top spot, and if I'm not mistaken, I think that'd be a first-time captain for her. And if they do win big tomorrow, she should be in one of those captain's chairs. Be exciting to see how the lefty pitcher drafts. And also would be interesting, too, if Alyssa Denham, which if they win, I do think she's going to pitch, so most likely she would have a good outing if they were to win and be in the same situation. But just interesting to see if McQuillan were captain and Denham weren't, would she take her with the first pick like Denham did with her?
Those Arizona Wildcats stick together.
I think you have to, especially if you had this much success. 2-1 off the handle right over at Urtez, 2 outs.
And Payne St. George has just settled into this game ever since that RBI that she gave up back in the 3rd inning. It's just been nothing but outs since then.
7 straight for Peyton St. George. Gets Davidson to swing through that. The off-speed has been money for her.
Through the zone, getting a chase there. Big swing by Davidson. Sitting on something firmer out of the hand, and she got that soft changeup that just ends up in the dirt.
One count. Good chance we see Faremo tomorrow for Team Svekis. You would think Odyssey Alexander calls her number again tomorrow for Team Alexander. And then maybe Kilfoyle? Do we get Lexi Kilfoyle again against Alyssa Denham? That's a pretty good matchup.
I think we'll get that again. And can't speak enough about, again, how these rookies have contributed and settled in right away.
Yeah, fearless. Kilfoyle, first inning gives up the run, and then you kind of wonder, how's the rookie respond? New environment. Man, she was nails. Unfazed. 2-2. Davidson watches that one. Mia really hasn't had a chance. She was hit by a pitch her first at bat, and then she walked in the 3rd, and it was a weird walk because the last ball was a pitch clock violation. There it is, got her looking. Peyton St. George, 8 straight retired, 4 strikeouts for her.
All of the strikes to Mia Davidson came via an off-speed pitch. Peyton St. George is spinning it good.
A pretty odd game as far as how things have played out. It was the 3rd inning for Team Svekis. Jesse Warren driving in a run, and that's been the story so far, is that 3rd inning.
Well, this hit by Charlize Palacios, 2 RBI double, was well struck, almost got out of here. Jesse Warren got a little jammed on that RBI, and then Sis Spades got lucky getting this one to fall. Crazy spin on it, and RBI there. So 3 different players had RBIs in that 3rd inning for Team Svekis. And that was the biggest inning for them, that top of the 3rd inning where they scored 4 and then followed it up with the 2 spot.
Well, if you're going to get swept of all the win points, the way to respond would be to get triple digits, which they would be in line for if they can Hold Team Alexander to nothing over the next 2 innings. Top of the 6th, though. Chance for Gwenside to add even more to this 4-run lead.
Well, and got to give credit to Aaliyah Andrews. She's the one that started off that 3rd inning with a leadoff single. Her and her 13-game hit streak. She has 2 hits and 2 runs scored today. She got things going.
Been so good the last couple seasons. Finished 8th last year. Swings through that pitch for strike 2.
The thing that you'll notice about Kayla Beaver, Chucky, as we go on through this season is that she is not scared to go inside. To left-handed hitters, to righties, but especially to lefties, she will go hard inside. She is not scared. She told me that that's something that she's always felt comfortable doing, is throwing inside. But not all the time that you're going to see a right-handed pitcher go up against lefties and be as comfortable as what Kayla Beaver is throwing into them.
Ground ball, diving stop, Leach. No chance to get Aaliyah Andrews. It'll be an infield single. Aaliyah's 3rd hit of the game. Now let's go down to Savannah Collins. She has more on Kayla.
Well, Amanda, you mentioned earlier how she wears 91, flipped her dad's number, and her dad, Shane, has always been who caught her bullpens throughout her whole life. And even in college, she would come home in the offseason and throughout the summer and still have a pitching coach throw to him too. And going into that final year at Alabama, they had the emotional moment of, this is it. This is our last bullpen together. He cried, she cried. They have it on video because they thought this is really the end of Kayla's softball career. But turns out she's got an extension here at AU Pro Softball. She's making her debut today. And they called her and said, man, all that and you're still going. So we're just going to have to keep putting work in your off seasons now that you're at the pro level too.
Well, she's facing Victoria Hayward now, the leadoff hitter for Team Svekis. But Savannah, when Kayla Beaver first started playing travel ball, a coach told her parents that she would never be good and that the best place for her was in the stands. So she felt like some of that kind of followed her throughout her entire career. She had people tell her that she wouldn't make it in college, but she put in the work to prove them wrong, and she used their words as fuel for the rest of her career, finishing out her career at Alabama.
Runner goes, and he just wasn't coverage there. I don't know if they'd have gotten Aaliyah Andrews anyway. 10 points for the stolen base there.
But I like this one line, too, that she told us. Kayla Beaver said, I didn't work to prove them wrong. I worked to prove myself right. It's a difference in that mentality.
It is down the line. Fair ball into the corner. Hayward's going to have a chance for 3 here easily. It's a triple for Victoria Hayward and a 7th run for Team Svekis.
Aaliyah Andrews better get some MVP points. She led off the inning in 3 different frames, and she has gotten a leadoff hit in 3 different frames and scored 3 runs for this team. Victoria Hayward just crushed that ball down the line. Just hung down the line fair, kind of ran into Odyssey Alexander there. Obstruction was called, but she kept going and easily got a triple regardless.
Play's being challenged for a fair or foul ball down the first base line.
After further review, the call of fair ball is upheld. That is Team Alexander's first challenge.
We have quick reviews here at Athletes Unlimited. It is a fair ball already taken care of. Gotta love it. Victoria Hayward last year had 440 win points. It's the 2nd fewest in a season. So you get a look at that again.
Oh, look at that shot down the line. That's a great shot down the right field line, camera.
She had those 2nd fewest win points in a season last year, but still hit just a touch under 300, had a 421 on base percentage, just couldn't buy a win, and that's when where so many of your points need to come from to climb the leaderboard. But she's been so consistent, and this time down the left field line from flipping to score another one.
Oh my
Kayla
gosh.
Bieber's thinking, what is going on?
That is just such bad luck. Just sneaks past Fisher, who is playing up the line. If she was playing back in her normal position, I think that that's probably just a 5-3 put out, but runner at third base, she's playing up the line.
She had a foot of space that she could throw at either one of those balls to push it a little bit further. They both would have been foul. The left field line shot. That's out number 1 for Beaver to get Jessie Warren.
Shortstop, number 17, Anissa Urtez.
Now Anissa Urtez. How many times has Urtez come to the plate in her softball career, going back to her time at Utah with Hannah Flippen on base in front of her? You would imagine a lot, unless I'm getting the batting order mixed up as to how they were when they were in college together.
Either way, there's a lot of familiarity there. Play college ball together.
Ooh, that was really off the end of the bat. Leach did a nice job to drag her foot over the base. 2 outs.
Could have potentially been a double play if this throw was on the money, but then it turned into Aubrey Leach just doing everything she could to keep getting 1 out with her dragging her right foot across the top of the bag while stretching. That is some serious athleticism there from the tip of her toe to the tip of her glove.
Ball 1 to Charlize Palacios. Pop up and a fly out with a 2 RBI double sandwich in between them. Rookie on rookie matchup right now. Still a overall pretty productive outing for Kayla Beaver. Had the 1-2-3 5th inning. And then Aaliyah Andrews has just been a problem.
She has been a problem.
Good problem if you're rooting for Team Svekis. Not so good if you're a pitcher against her. Does catch the zone up and in 1-2 count. Another foul ball from Palacios.
Okay, got an update from Amy Hogue, head coach at Utah. Hannah did always hit in front of Anissa.
Let's go. I'm real happy about that now. Yeah, coach is watching. We appreciate that, coach. Swing and a miss from Palacios. Beaver gets the strikeout to strand 1 runner, but 2 more come across for Team Svekis. 8-2, they lead it.
Georgina Korick started this game, but Peyton St. George entered this game and got better as her outing went on. She ended up having 4 strikeouts. 1 was on her rise, and the other 3 were on her off-speed pitch that was just working. I think she throws like 3 different off-speed pitches, and I feel like they were all working today. Peyton St. George looking good in the circle for her outing for Team Svekis. Help contribute to this lead that they have right now.
A new pitcher for Team Svekis. It's a 2-run lead here for these inning win points for Catherine Sandercock, who we saw throw 1 inning yesterday. She was 2-4 with a 2.05 ERA, 13 strikeouts, and 3 saves in her rookie season last year. got Peyton St. George, who had a great outing, just showed it. Peyton, thanks for joining us. What was working for you so well today?
Oh man, just knowing I have such a good defense behind me, it's really empowering. I can throw my off speed with conviction. And just knowing that they'll back me up, and I feel like a lot of people sit on speed on me, but I'm like, you still have to hit it if you're sitting off speed. So I just threw it until it stopped working, but it was working.
Peyton, how'd you develop all the off-speed pitches that you have?
So I actually started developing an off-speed sophomore, junior year of high school, and my pitching coach was way ahead of me. And I was like, oh wow, I need to get my hard rise ball down first. So it was always something I was working on and experimenting with. And then through college, I was very rise change, and it wasn't until I got to AU where I got to really throw the off speed more. So it's really just like I take my thumb off of my rise and my curve and just snap it really hard. And it actually spins more than my hard stuff, which is crazy, but I didn't really start throwing it until I got here, kind of 50% of the time.
All right, Peyton, let's talk about some of the other sports. We were talking about you earlier, pickleball, you're a big runner, volleyball. Give us some tips on pickleball when you're at the net playing near the kitchen. What's your biggest tip for people?
Okay, I am developing strategy. I'm getting better at pickleball, and I used to be a player that's I'm gonna hit it as hard as I possibly can. And if the other team lets it go, it's probably out most of the time. But I've gotten better at the little dinks over the net, and so I just wait for people to dink it back a little too high, and then I slam it right at them.
That's a strategy right there. That's what it's all about. Thanks for joining us. You did awesome today. We loved watching you pitch. See you tomorrow.
Thank you so much.
Peyton St. George talking a little pickleball too. Love it. Pitch down low to Nadia Taylor. Good start for her. I mean, you just feel like the first series, there's a lot of ball to be played, and the leaderboard's going to change a lot, but man, just set the tone for the season and get some confidence. It's too high from Sandercock. 3-2 count. Quickly got Sam Fisher to pop up. Nadia Taylor is 1 for 2. A single and a run scored in the second. Assistant coach at Houston, along with Hope Troutwine, who is also here, former Oklahoma pitcher, and that misses outside. Nadia's got 10 points for the walk.
The right fielder, number 83, Kaylee Hardy.
One out runner against Sandercock, who had to pitch on Little League Day. She played for McLean Little League, where she's from in Virginia, and helped them advance to the 2013 Little League Softball World Series Championship. And now former teammates meeting for the first time. Sandercock against Harding. Both tremendous careers at Florida State, and Harding's going to win this one. First pitch swinging, extra bases. Taylor around third. The throw is going to hold her at third base. A double for Harding. Like she knew what was coming almost.
Yeah, absolutely she did. She gets the inner half of this ball. It's inside, but she stays inside of it even better, shortens up her swing, drives that to right center field, and beautiful swing by Kaylee Harding, who was hunting early in the count. Nadia Taylor was thinking she'd have a chance to score, but instead they just draw the throw with her hard round, and she heads back to third just to try to continue this rally.
75 miles per hour off the bat, goes opposite field with it too. Nadia Taylor is going to be pinch ran for over at third base. Still big runs here. I mean, you need 6, obviously, to crawl all the way back into this, but there's 20 inning win points on the line. Those would belong to Team Svekis if Team Alexander can't get at least 2 runs.
You do have a 2-run cushion if you're Team Svekis, but those 2 runs are potentially on board, but still, just don't want to give up 3, I feel like, in this situation. Love to win this inning and keep those runners from scoring altogether, but if they tie, not the worst case when you're already finding yourself with 2 runners in scoring position.
Odyssey Alexander, big chance as a captain right here. Still just 1 out, ahead in the count 1-0. Ground ball right side, diving stop by Flippin. Lost it underneath herself though, and Muffley comes across to score. Really tough play for Flippin, moving to her left. There's one of those runs back.
Good effort by Hannah Flippin, who's playing more up the middle of the field, had a long way to go for that ball, ended up going down to her knees. And if she would have been able to handle it after it hit off of her glove and was just right there in front of her, she would have been able to make that throw and get it out. But Odyssey Alexander will get an RBI.
That's such a cool setting a second ago. Josie Muffley came in to run for Nadia Taylor, so it was Muffley at third, Jessie Warren playing third, Kaylee Harding on second, and Catherine Sandercock in the circle. All of them Florida State greats. Now bottom of the order, Sydney McKinney. Is this the inning Team Alexander finally really has their breakthrough? Good spot for strike 1.
Sydney McKinney kind of serves as an additional leadoff hitter here in the 9 spot. Leadoff hitter Aubrey Leach on deck, but you have Sydney McKinney up. You have another opportunity to use like a leadoff type hitter with her, and then have Aubrey Leach come up with more runners in scoring position, drive in some runs.
Slow roller into foul territory. McKinney hit that over into the third base box at Bailey Lang, the facilitator. Couldn't quite make a play. They played together at Wichita State. Bailey was also a facilitator in Wichita for AUX. Ball 1. Ooh. Fouled off as well, out of play. Aubrey Leach just taking mental notes in the on-deck circle right now.
That'll be the 3rd different pitcher that Aubrey Leach has seen in this game.
Eighth pitch coming up. Leach has been able to watch McKinney take at the plate. Ground ball right side, Flipping on it, flip to first. That does tie this 6th inning, so at the very least, we'll have more rollover points if they can't bring Odyssey around from second base now with 2 outs.
Just good situational hitting for Team Alexander to drive in these runs. A couple of ground balls to the right side.
But it's Aubrey Leach who is 2 for 3, couple singles. There's just, when she comes to the plate, I feel like there's an expectation that she is going to hit something hard, like she'll be a problem for the defense one way or another. Hit .395, second best in the league in Wichita. A .469 on base percentage there. She is a career .350 hitter at Athletes Unlimited. That's just absurd against the pitching that she's facing.
Feels like it's a 500 hitter. You're hitting .350 against these pitchers.
Ahead 2-1 now. Sandercock wanted that call on the outside corner, but falls behind even further. Same similar spot for strike 2.
A lot of patience from these hitters in this game, and home plate umpire Alex Leap not necessarily given a ball off the plate.
Time call. Gwen Svekis wants to talk to Sandercock. I'll be sure to follow AU Pro Softball on your favorite social media platforms to stay up to date with all the great content featuring your favorite players, including highlights, mic'd ups, the hot seat, behind the scenes action, and more. It's at AU Pro Sports on your socials. Ground ball left side. There's Warren. Nice play to help out Catherine Sandercock to strand a run, but the inning points will roll over. 30 on the line in the 7th. Athletes Unlimited Pro Softball is fueled by Gatorade. Mackenzie Clark made an incredible play earlier. Aubrey Leach has had the bat working. It's been a really fun opening weekend. Kelsey Harshman had a game-winning home run last night. And here we are, wrapping up day 2. Team Svekis in the lead, 8-4, but this one not quite done yet. Still 30 inning win points on the line, and Team Alexander showing some life offensively last inning. A new pitcher out there, though, to try and keep things where they are. Hope Troutwine in her first season with Athletes Unlimited from Pflugerville, Texas. Played her college ball at Oklahoma. Third-year pro. First, though, with Athletes Unlimited. Up and down AUX, but certainly showed signs of what she's capable of. And a nice pitch to start off Gwen Svekis.
It's really good upspin with her rise ball, and curveball will drop in that changeup too.
Outside ball 1 to Svekis, who is 1 for 3 with a single. Troutwine's first action of the season. Half swing, and that is well placed by Svekis. The throw to first, not in time. That's going to be a base hit.
This game literally has had so many weird bounces. Just balls that have hugged down the line, a ball that hit the base there, a ball, remember the overthrow that hit off of the wall that got Jessie Warren out when she was trying to score? I mean, there have just been so many weird bounces in this game. Fisher did everything that she could to get that out, but when it hits off the bag, what are you going to do?
Even if Sam knew, because you could kind of see it the whole time, like, okay, it's not moving, it's on turf, so you're not going to get an awkward bounce necessarily. Even if Sam knew, there's just, you're kind of stuck. You just have to wait. Sisbate shows bunt and pulls back for a strike. 4th season, college ball at Washington, the director of player development the last 2 years there for Heather Tarr. 3-time Pac-12 Defensive Player of the Year. There is the bunt down the third base side. Fisher gets the lead runner, Svekis. 1 out.
Yeah, it's Sam Fisher just knowing who your runners are at each base, and she would have had an out at either base, but I thought she was going to go 1, but a lot of confidence to go 2, knowing that Svekis isn't as quick as some other runners here at AU. Big lead out.
Inside from Troutwine to Bailey Klingler. So Klingler's first year with Athletes Unlimited. She's a second-year pro from Houston, Texas, but went to the Northwest to play her college ball. Ripped up the middle, base hit for Klingler. Bates holds up at second.
The center fielder, number 11,
Klingler's first hit of the championship season. 2 Huskies out there on the base paths now. For Aaliyah Andrews, who has been more comfortable in a leadoff role. She led off the 3rd, 4th, and 6th. And not so coincidentally, those are when Team Svekis scored 4, 2, and 2 to get to this 8th spot. Now she has a chance to produce runs. Oh, 1 outside from Troutwine. There have been 6 4-hit games all time. Aaliyah looking for the 7th. Down 1-2, known so much for her glove. All the fantastic plays she made at LSU, and now here as a pro, made one of the best catches I've ever seen last year during the championship season. It's going to be tough, but steps on second, not going to get 2. 2 outs. It's kind of unfortunate when you think about like Sis Bates and Aaliyah Andrews and some of the great defensive players that are here. They weren't giving out the gold glove when they were in college. And Aaliyah, her sister AJ, won the first ever gold glove given out to a female when she was in the NPF. And then you go further down the line at LSU, Ciara Briggs won back-to-back gold gloves. And Aaliyah's, it was just timing, wasn't quite right for her, but you would think had they been giving it to the college level at that time, she would have one on the shelf right now.
And LSU just has a long line of terrific center fielders. Just one right after another. I wonder who's going to be the next, because Briggs graduated.
Leslie Klein, years ago, was a 3-time All-American there, the Andrews sisters. This is softly hit in the left field. Base hit for Victoria Hayward to bring in Sis Bates.
The second baseman.
Run number 9 for Team Svekis after getting shut out yesterday.
Look at Team Svekis scoring in 4 different half innings, just continuing to apply the pressure. But I mean, Team Alexander has scored in 3 half innings. It's just been the number of multi-run innings that Svekis has put together.
Team Alexander is challenging that the runner at first base left early on the pitch. That play is now under review.
Oh, pulling out a challenge for the runner leaving early at first base.
It is a big run, just with regards to those inning win points. You know who was leading the charge on that too? Aubrey Leach. No shocker that she seemed to be leading the way there along with her captain, Odyssey Alexander.
It's good work. We'll see. This is giving me flashbacks of the college season, just some random challenges to see if the runner left early that they already amended. That will not happen next year.
After further review, the call on the field has been changed. The runner at first base is out for leaving early.
Great call.
This is Team Alexander's second and final challenge.
That run is erased.
And that will end the inning. The pros are kind of ahead of that rule because you can only do that if the runner advances. But like you said, the college game, they're making the right changes. Run wiped away, which could be big because now Team Alexander only needs one run to get the inning win points. Obviously need a little bit more to keep this game going, but let's take a look back at Aaliyah Andrews leaving early.
There at first base, that's the runner that they're looking at to see if she left the bag before the pitcher released the ball, and she clearly did. So great call to overturn that, and it was a big call because, as you mentioned, it feels different going to the 7th inning with one run on the board where you can not only win the inning, but win the game.
Now, if Team Alexander doesn't score here against Kat Sandercock, then it doesn't really matter. It's the same result in the end. But if they were to score one run, then that's 30 win points wiped off the board. Kat Sandercock tries to close the door. Kowalik, Nichols, Davidson coming up. Misses outside. And this is, apologize, this is Jalen Alchin, who came in for Kowalik earlier. Alchin, a rookie out of UCLA. She spent 4 years at Washington before finishing with the Bruins. She played travel ball growing up alongside the Pac-12 Player of the Year Maya Brady and Charlize Palacios. They were both drafted this year. Oh my goodness. Bubba had to take cover in the on-deck circle.
Bruin versus Bruin crime right there. You're not really expecting that on the pool side either if you're the on-deck hitter, by the way.
We saw that last night, too, on the right-hand side. Alchin in the center. Andrews has it, one out.
Like, if you're on the opposite side, you are thinking that that might happen, but not on the pool side. Look at this angle right over Bubba's head.
Pressure building here, but you've got two batters coming to the plate with Nichols and then Davidson that can change it in one swing. That's all it would take is one run to at least get another 30-inning win points. Top of the leaderboard, all Team Denham. $240 of the points you're seeing for all of these players are strictly from wins. 14 of the top 15 are for Denham, and Sandercock snags it to rob Bubba of a base hit. We've seen that on a number of occasions today.
It seemed faster, but somehow it says the exit speed only 59 miles an hour for that one, but seemed faster coming off the bat, but hit more off the end of the bat. Maybe that's what helped save Kat Sandercock, had a little bit more time to be able to get her glove up like Rachel Garcia did earlier today.
This is first pitch to Davidson, but Sandercock, who gave up 2 runs in the 6th, looking for a 1-2-3 inning here in the 7th. Good spot inside corner for strike one.
Yeah, really good spot.
They could go from no win points yesterday to 100 win points if she can get this final out. Ground ball left side. Warren lets it through. Ortez using the turf for out number 3. 1-2-3 for Kat Sandercock to close the door and collect the 30-inning win points and 50 for the game. It's 100, though, total for everyone on Team Svekis.
How about the Team Svekis offense just busting loose in this game, scoring in multiple different innings, multiple runs, and 13 hits. No errors for Team Svekis, played clean on defense, only gave up the 4 runs. They needed that win.
Nice outing in relief from Peyton St. George. Kat Sandercock closes the door after Georgina Korick got the start today. Well, 2 days in the books. One more day of games tomorrow, a doubleheader before we figure out who our Week 2 captains will be. The draft is Monday. We're just getting started here in Rosemont for Athletes Unlimited's championship season, the 5th ever. For Savannah Collins, Amanda Scarborough, Casey Carter, Aaron Angel, I'm Chucky Kempf. Thanks for joining us, everybody. We're back tomorrow in Rosemont.
Game 2 comes to an end. We remind you